It was a walk like any other, until she never returned. On the morning of February 13th, 2009, Amber Dubois, age 14, left her home in Escondido, California, planning the short walk to school. The chill of an early morning hung in the air, light traffic already moving as she passed familiar houses and sidewalks. Her family believed she would be soon in class, as usual, but Amber never made it. Amber's life had been uneventful in the sense of routine, a young teen in Southern California whose days were filled with friends, homework, and the everyday hopes of adolescence. February 13th began like so many other days. Her father, Maurice Dubois, and her mother watched her leave, expecting to see her return. But by the afternoon, Amber had not arrived at her destination. Concern gathered at home when her absence stretched beyond normal. Friends and school staff began asking, "Where was Amber?" The familiar grew quiet. Her backpack lay by the door, her bedroom unchanged. The town of Escondido began to whisper of worry. Searches were launched locally. Friends retraced their steps. Family asked neighbors if they had seen her. The morning walk that should have taken minutes became hours of anxiety. Authorities were notified that evening. Amber had vanished into thin air. The initial investigation focused on the ordinary possibilities: tardy arrival, miscommunication, maybe skipping a class. But those hopes faded overnight. Investigators noted that the route Amber would have taken passed through areas that were quiet but had few direct witnesses. No clear video footage, no reliable sightings beyond the early morning. Her disappearance had the hallmark of something far worse. In the days that followed, the Dubois family, community volunteers, school staff, and local law enforcement pored over every possibility. Did Amber choose to leave? Did she run away? Or was someone waiting for her that morning? The last question loomed largest and most horrifying. Could a stranger have intercepted her? As the sun dipped lower on February 14th, and then February 15th, the growing fear that this was not a simple missing teen case, but a potential abduction set in. The tight-knit community of Escondido held its breath. The story of a 14-year-old girl simply walking to school shattered, and the uncertainty over what had happened to Amber took root in every thought. For her family, every day without a word, without a trace, was a day of dread. What made this disappearance even more chilling was its subtleness. No screaming, no car alarm, no visible struggle, just a young girl gone. The normalcy of that morning only sharpened the pain of the void left behind. In the days following Amber's disappearance, the search intensified. Volunteers combed parks, trails, and roads. Flyers with Amber's face were plastered across Escondido and the surrounding area. Family members held vigils, pushing hope into every passing car and overheard conversation. Investigators looked at the timeline closely. Amber had left home at a certain time. She should have reached her school shortly after. Witnesses were asked again. Did anyone see a car pull up, someone talking to her, or her turning down a different street? Initial leads were thin. The lack of signs of struggle at home or along her route offered no obvious clues. Then came the harder questions. Investigators looked at parole records and known sex offenders in the area. Among them was John Albert Gardner III, a convicted sex offender on parole in the region. He had a history of violence, molestation, and was under supervision. Later, it would emerge that he had violated his parole many times and had been in the proximity of schools in remote areas while under GPS monitoring. But in the immediate aftermath of Amber's disappearance, his name was among many. Amber's family, meanwhile, held on to hope. They organized walks, talked to friends, revisited the places Amber loved. Her mother, Carrie McGonigal, kept her phone by her side at all times, feeling the weight of each ring that might bring news. Every moment was elongated by uncertainty. Asterisk then. A small but severe shift happened. Searchers found skeletal remains on March 6, 2010, in a remote area of the Pala Indian Reservation in San Diego County. They had been looking for over a year. The remains were later identified through dental records as those of Amber Dubois. The discovery changed the case from missing teen to murder investigation. It was confirmation of the worst fears. For the Dubois family, the hope of finding Amber alive evaporated into sorrow and the need for answers. For investigators, the terrain became harsher. Remote roadways, isolated trails, a body hidden far from where she disappeared. The puzzle moved into terrain where time, weather, and isolation had had their say. Also, the connection to John Gardner became stronger. Investigators noticed his history, his movements under GPS tracking, his presence in the general region where Amber's remains were found. Reports showed that while under monitoring, Gardner had repeatedly violated rules, spending time near multiple schools and remote areas. Yet, even with the discovery of Amber's body and the emerging suspect, her family and the community were divided. Some members believed Gardner was responsible. Others held out hope that someone else had done this, that justice hadn't been fully aligned yet. As one report put it, the family of Amber Dubois are divided as to whether she was killed by the same-sex offender recently charged. The search had thus morphed into an investigation of system failures. How could a paroled sex offender roam so freely? How could a young girl walking to school vanish without more immediate trace? The case became emblematic of larger concerns: supervision of offenders, community safety, law enforcement resources. Having found Amber's remains, and with mounting investigation into John Gardner, the case took a turn. On April 16, 2010, Gardner pleaded guilty to the rape and murder of Amber Dubois and a separate murder of another teen, Chelsea King, in 2010. In an exclusive interview later broadcast by 48 Hours, Gardner detailed how he had lived the double life of outward normalcy and hidden predation. In his confession regarding Amber, he said, "I passed her driving down the street. I pulled up next to her with the windows down on the car. I had the knife out and visible, and told her, 'Get in the car, or it was going to be a lot worse.'" According to the confession, Amber had looked at him in shock and disbelief. She asked if he was kidding. He shouted, "No, get the F*** in the car." He then drove her to a remote dirt plateau off the road on the Pala Reservation area. There he raped and then stabbed her seemingly without explanation. His statement to authorities and to Amber's mother in a private meeting described the 40-minute drive, the terror Amber experienced, and the horrifying end. When Amber's mother heard the confession, she described feeling complete closure because she finally heard how it happened. "How he got my daughter. I needed to know if she cried for me, if she begged for her life." The court heard impact statements from the Dubois family, who detailed the aftermath, the birthday celebrations without Amber, the empty seat at Thanksgiving, the silent phone that used to ring. The community was left to grapple with the notion that a predator had slipped through the cracks, committed atrocious crime, and been roaming near schools and residential areas while on parole. Gardner's guilty plea spared the death penalty, but ensured he would spend the rest of his life in prison without possibility of parole. But even with the confession, the Dubois family did not unanimously accept all the details. Some believed additional perpetrators or fail-safe systems might have existed. Some believed investigation should have been swifter. The story of Amber's murder became part of a broader conversation about justice, recovery, and memory. With Gardner convicted and sentenced, the tragedy of Amber Dubois did not end. The Dubois family and the community were left to rebuild in new ways, forever changed by what happened. Amber's mother, Carrie McGonigal, confronted authors who wrote about the case, pushed for better protections for children, and spoke publicly about the need for vigilance. The pain remained, but so did a determined call for change. In the wider legal system, the case helped highlight serious issues: how sex offenders are monitored, how GPS ankle bracelets are enforced, how parole violations are handled. Gardner had reportedly accumulated dozens of parole violations while being tracked. The Amber Dubois case became emblematic of those systemic failures. The community, too, rallied. Schools reviewed safety protocols. Neighborhoods organized walking groups, reminded children not to walk alone at certain hours, and pushed for more local awareness of registered offenders. Amber's face on flyers became a symbol, not just of a life lost, but of a cautionary story for every parent and every child. For the Dubois family, memory became their work. They created foundations, memorials, and outreach efforts. Each year on Amber's birthday, they would remember her, not only what she lost, but what she was: a daughter, a sister, a friend. Her absence prompted conversations about protection, vulnerability, and the duty to keep children safe in broad daylight. Moreover, the confession and conviction of Gardner brought some measure of closure, but the scars remained. The neighborhoods where Amber walked, the friends she would never meet, the milestones she would never reach, these were intangible, irreversible losses. The audience should sense that justice served is one element, but healing is another. Finally, the lessons: vigilance matters. Children walking alone might seem safe, but risks persist. Monitoring systems for offenders need resources and enforcement. Communities must stay aware, schools must teach safety, parents must talk to kids. Amber's story is not just tragedy, it's a warning and a call to action. In the end, Amber Dubois's life mattered. Her story changed laws, changed minds, and changed communities. While nothing can bring her back, the hope remains that by remembering her, we may protect others. And as you reflect on her journey, from that morning walk to the remote plateau, remember, even in the ordinary, danger can lurk. And remembering is the first step toward never letting it happen again. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel using the link below.